Hello and welcome to a new and special frog engineering episode. You see that the Christmas are coming, have nice unusual scenery, there is a Christmas tree, there is a Christmas frog. Also, I put some books right there on the piano so that you think that I'm a clever guy. The winter comes and as every year, all the frogs are hidden deep within the ponds on the bottom of them. And they are not asleep, they are building arms and preparing guns for the next season. And I figured out, because the channel, thanks to your support, is getting to 1000 subscribers, I thought that I'll do some special video, and this is this video. So what I'm gonna do, I was inspired by the last few guns I built, which were Tokyo Marui MWS system, and I figured out that I will make some special video about those. Of course, what else could it be than building some gun? And as you know me, I'm big into the UKSF type guns, so when talking about the converting, building custom guns and so on, what else could I build? Especially with the MWS system. So I figured out that, I need kind of new gun. You see, I don't look too tactical, I lost my beard, I lost my camis. But what could it be? MWS, UKSF? Bam! The where is it written? Here. I will be building the L119A2 from HAO Industries. That's a nice big kit. But this is just a conversion kit, so in theory I need a base M4 type gun from Tokyo Marui so that I can put in all the internals and so on. Some of the body parts are not included in the kit, like for example the pistol grip or stock. So what shall I do in this case to make it even more special? So for this reason I ordered some parts at Santa Claus and they already are here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build this L119A2 from scratch, from the kit and spare parts only. Actually they are not Tokyo Marui brand, they are different brands, for example Guns Modify, Dynamic Precision, GNP, Angry Gun, Leilax, or some original components straight from Magpul or Ergo, Arraytech, and so on. So as you can see, it will be quite a challenge because honestly, from all the GBBR systems that I worked with the MWS, I worked the least, so I have the least experience. And if you think I know what I'm doing, maybe that's not really true. But it will be a lot of fun and the video will be quite long probably, so I will split it into a few parts. Assembling parts of the gun one by one, meaning first probably the top, which means the upper receiver first, then the lower receiver. I will also convert it to run on HPA in the Frog Engineering HPA GBBR system for Tokyo Marui, using the special custom 3D printed magazines together with the conversions. And I'm very curious about the results. So there are so many parts I needed to get that I'm not even sure that I have all of them in here. Maybe actually something is missing, so it could be really funny at the end when I realize I need to order something because this cannot progress. But let's find out how it goes. So for now, let's put all these parts aside and let's have a look into the kit itself. So as you probably realized already, this is kind of partially like unboxing video, so let's open it, let's see what comes in the box. Alright, that's a big box. So we have some foam, very useful. And under the foam, some bags. Let's see what is in there. The lower receiver, nice. It has some shitty sticker here to cover the trademarks, probably. Let's see. Comes off pretty easily. No, not so easy. Let's start from a different angle. Oh, starting to get torn. Oh, come on. And I thought I can take it off in one go. It's so nice and so, how to call it, like grained. This anodization is so so strong, or how to call it, that you actually can file your nails on the receiver. I really like it. Okay, just this one. Okay, now it's better. Nice trades here also, the correct markings. Like, I don't know if I need to say it, obviously it has correct markings everywhere. Let's have a look in this bag. And here we have the nice buffer tube with this step like Colt should have, Colt Canada I mean. Some HAO markings on this side, I don't know if you can read them. Colt Canada, HAO Industries, MWS, and this special type of nut that nobody has the key to use. Okay, and some big bag. Let's see what's in the bag. Maybe I'll move it out for a second. So in the bag we have cool charging handle with the special ledge that everybody apparently hates according to my research. Very nice. The gas block plus attachment screws. Surefire flash hider, which is painted or like marked with some probably non-permanent marker to hide the trades. We can try to wash it out later. And some small parts. What this is? I believe this rod is used for the dust cover as an axis. We have some shims for the flash hider to make it in proper orientation. We have the ambidextrous mag catch. Nice ambidextrous fire selector. Some screws and pins, whatever this is. Some more tiny screws, whatever use they have. And the last bag, I believe this is these are the receiver pins. So for now, let's put all these back into this big bag. Later we can figure out what to use and where. Because still in our box there's something more. Big nice sticker. A frog that doesn't come with the kit. And the second floor. So let's remove the first one. And in the second floor we get some more. Some user guide. Let's see, airsoft only, and that's it. Okay, let's see what this is. Oh, that's heavy. So this will be the gas tube. I'll be putting this aside somewhere. This is the tool for screwing it in the nut, because we will have one piece receiver and front rail. So I guess I will have to use this to attach the button in place. And inside there is the heaviest part so far, and that's shit. That's the outer barrel, which is so heavy that most of airsoft players will not be able to lift it. And also there is the barrel extension, which looks crazy good. Yeah. Actually the MWS normally has tiny bit different construction. The barrel extension is like in the upper receiver, but here I see we are going for realism, which I like. Okay, let's throw this out. What else do we have on this side? There is a barrel nut. Yeah, nice barrel nut. This will be the heat cover for the rail, obviously. Honestly, I have no idea how the real one looks like, but this one has pressed on bubbles from the foil, which looks pretty weird. Like it was painted minutes before being packed, so also it has some foil here and there. So I don't know if that's the goal, I don't know if I can show it. You see, these bubbles, yeah, they are like pressed into this. So honestly, I'm not sure what to do with it. I will try to wash it off. If this doesn't work, then probably I will paint it or something like this to make it look normally. The barrel nut I already said about, and some light nice tube, probably for the key, so that I can rotate it, you know, like this or something. Okay, and here on the top, probably the last thing, which is the receiver. And like, what can I say? It's probably the best made receiver I have ever seen in my entire airsoft career. Of course it has the trades, that's the shit. And voila, these are all the parts, apart from that tool of course. Like, these are all the gun parts that we get in the kit. So already you can see that, of course, apart from the internals, which are missing, you don't get the dust cover and the dust cover spring. I think the dust cover here will be attached with some pins permanently. It will not be removable. I'm fine with that. So definitely you need to get that one, and there is no forward assist. So also you need to get it from either the gun or buy it separately. But regarding the kit itself, really the quality is shockingly good. Yeah, apart from this heat shield, I really don't like this weird appearance. I will try to wash it off, as I said. But all the other parts, they are crazy nice and crazy well made. And I will start with the assembly of the upper receiver, because for the conversion, which is mounted to the lower receiver of course, I need to have the upper receiver assembly complete, because I need to check the fitting, if the bolt carrier group rides and seals nicely against the conversion, to know that the conversion is in proper position. So this would be the first step for me. And for this I need, apart from the original parts, which I put here, some of these aftermarket parts. And this includes, I hope this is really everything, and this includes hop-up chamber. I'm using the Angry Gun one. I'm using the Angry Gun flash hider too, because I already have it on one of my guns and I have the silencer that fits for it. In case you wonder, I already checked it, and the silencer from Angry Gun doesn't fit to the flash hider from HAO. It's loose, it wobbles like crazy, it doesn't lock up at all. Yeah, so no way to use it. I will put the Angry Gun instead of the HAO one. Then I have the bolt carrier group from Angry Gun, steel one. I going for maximum realism. I want to get the hardest kick possible. And then for the chamber we have the Modify X range 65 degrees hop-up rubber. Let's see how it works. The complete nozzle assembly from Array Tech with the NPAS obviously, and the parts, like I said, forward assist I need, so Guns Modify. Also I have the forward assist from Guns Modify and the dust cover from Angry Gun. Plus the last part is this hop-up set, like these wheels and so on, for setting up the hop from Angry Gun. So I just hope that I have all the parts I need to build the upper receiver, and if not, then there will be a long cut in the video until I get what I need. But for now, let's start. And the first step for me will be to modify the upper receiver, because for the Frog Engineering conversion I need to remove this rib that is also on the HAO here, extended forwards. It will hit the magazines where I insert them. So as I have this part empty and clean now, no lube, anything, it will be much easier to do it now than later. So I will first remove it, and we will meet again, but in my workshop, because that's where I have all my tools, so it will be much easier to work there. Back in the workshop we have the receiver prepared. Here I filed off that feature I needed to get rid of course. Like for the conversion, everything you need to do for a conversion is explained in a separate video, so I will not devote too much time for it. And where to start? So if you think about kind of like sub-assemblies, how this gun is built, then you have maybe 3 sub-assemblies in the upper receiver, let's say. So we'll have the upper receiver rail sub-assembly, where we need to put in this feature for the hop-up setup. We will have the dust cover obviously, and we will have the forward assist to be inserted here. So these 3 things. Second sub-assembly would be the main barrel assembly, And the third sub-assembly would be bolt carrier group. The charging handle goes just in and that's it. But from what I see, as assembling the dust cover is permanent, and maybe I'm not sure if I want to do it. I would first rather make sure that the gun actually works and so on, so that I don't need to disassemble it for any reason. I will left out this one for later. And this means that I will start with these two parts. So let's open Guns Modify Forward Assist. Let's see what's inside. So pretty nice forward assist assembly, obviously, and a pin for it. So this is pretty simple. I should just put this in, just figure out the right way so that it's not rotated upside down or something. But here you can see that there is a hole, and this is eccentric, like not in the axis, let's say, and the pin has to go through this cut on this side. You see there is a cut in this forward assist, so this means that I have to put it in like this. Let's just see if it fits. Actually, it really fits nicely. I don't know if I can do it one-handed under camera or even two-handed under camera, but let's do my best. I see already scratches are being generated. So how do I do it? Maybe I'll put the pin first. Let's check how hard this will be. Oh, guess not so hard. Okay, and let's put this in. And I need to hammer it in, but under camera I'm worried I will scratch something. I'd rather do it off screen. Wasn't that easy, but I did it. Nice. Okay, now let's look from this side. I painted here black so that it's a bit nicer. And we are doing the Angry Gun hop-up adjustment assembly or whatever. Okay, let's take it out. So this is how it looks like. There is some screw on this side. Let me think for a second. So I believe normally I would use this screw to attach it to the receiver from the front, but as this is this monolithic type of receiver, I will not have the access. And I see that the gas tube from the conversion actually has the thread on one side. I guess it's matching. Let's see if I replace the screw with the gas tube. Does it work? Alright, it works. And you can see on this side there is this kind of cut for a flat screwdriver, so that during the assembly you can screw this in from the very front. So I'm not actually sure if this is the right moment to assemble this part now, because probably I will be assembling this together with the whole gas block when I have the chamber and the barrel ready. So let's put it aside and let's do the barrel assembly as the next step. So these will be the parts going in next, and I have this Angry Gun flash hider, so I exclude the original HAO one. Let's try if it fits for sure. Of course not. Okay, this means I will have to go with this one, and the Angry Gun was for nothing. So after this small failure, let's go back. I didn't mention that I will also use this inner barrel, and this is actually a custom PDI cut to size AEG barrel with milled features to attach it to a GBBR. So 6.01, very nice barrel. Let's see how it will work all together. Then I believe I need to start with the chamber, the Angry Gun stuff. Honestly, I thought that it will be made of metal, but it's plastic. Probably it will be just fine, but this was surprising. We need to take off this O-ring here. Okay, open it up. And the X-range backing. So the barrel fits with the backing nicely. Okay, and then we put it in the chamber. This arm goes back in here. And this O-ring goes back in here. Okay, looks kinda good. So now I understand I should put it into the outer barrel. Fits just fine. And here the barrel extension will go on. And it's a question what to do now. I believe I should put it into the upper receiver like this. But honestly, there is no manual to it, so I'm a little guessing. Let's unpack these two. Then I guess it's about time to combine these, but there's one thing I forgot about, which is this heat shield. But first I'll try to clean it. So I'm using the isopropane alcohol. Let's see if it helps with anything. Well, actually it does. I have to be very careful here because I will remove this whole paint. But yeah, I believe it's removed, so for me it's good enough. And honestly, I think that this is the first part that should go in now, because when the barrel will be in, it will be very, very difficult to push it in. So I guess I will go with this one. Another thing I don't know is how to exactly put it, where it should be, like here, or like all the way here. Let's see, probably like all the way here. Obviously it doesn't just fit from the front, I need to compress it somehow, and I get the impression that I need to push in these pins on the front into these cutouts, and it should slide all the way until these holes here and lock in place. So probably it goes in like this, so the long pins are facing the rear. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Kind of slides in like I thought it should, and now I need to compress it even more so that those pins will go in, and push them until they reach this position and lock. Let's see if this works. So like, you know, see that it's going in nicely. I'm pushing it with wooden hammer handle not to scratch or damage too much, and I'm almost there, I guess. Okay, I think I start to see the pin, but it didn't lock. Alright, so now I need to figure out how to push it back a bit, or how to pull it out, because if I look from these holes, definitely those pins didn't lock in place. So what I did is I inserted a screwdriver like from here to the rear, and I was able to push it a little, and these features definitely they don't lock on their own, so I needed to put in my hand and with a finger push it into the place. Yeah, so it's not that simple, however it's much better than I thought it will be. Okay, so when I have these parts in place, probably next one will be the barrel. The barrel goes in with the barrel extension and barrel nut in place. The barrel went in quite nicely, but the barrel nut stays here, so it catches on this heat shield. I don't know if this was really the proper assembly sequence, but whatever, I hope it was. Let's use the wrench they gave me, and let's try to squeeze it in somehow. And the situation is really shit because the barrel nut doesn't want to travel in, and the reason is because the heat shield did not open fully. So what I will do, I will remove it, I will push with some screwdriver or something. I will try to, you know, open this heat shield so much that the barrel nut can travel through. So what I did is I inserted a screwdriver through this hole and then this hole, obviously, and deep in there you can see where this pin for the locking is. So I just pushed it harder with the screwdriver, I hit through a few times with the hammer on both sides the same. Seems like it's in place. Let's try the barrel again. Okay, and somehow I assembled it. The issue right now was that the barrel nut went quite nicely, but the wrench was blocked. So I had to push it in a bit with some rubber hammer, and it's okay, I guess. I checked the barrel is aligned in the receiver, everything should be fine. I think I'm screwing this in. Yes, this gets harder. So, oh yeah, it seems like I did it. And it's, I believe, tightened in place. There is no wobble whatsoever. Here I have nice alignment, it's quite heavy actually. Let's put it aside. Good thing about this wrench, remember to push it on the other side because it fell off in my case once. But anyway, good thing about this thing is that when you finally manage to assemble it or like push it into the gun, it straightens out the heat shield, so success. And now this combination, meaning the hop-up setting wheel plus the gas block somehow combined. So let me think about this. How shall I do this? If I put the gas tube in the gas block, it doesn't really rotate, so probably I need to start with the gas tube, because later I will not screw it to this assembly. And actually, what you can notice, it's really nice feature, I don't know if you can see, there on the top of the gas block there is even the gas port simulated. Yeah, so it's like crazy precision and crazy nice made component. Yeah, on the barrel I seen this was not there, but here we have it. It's pretty nice touch. Okay, so let's try it. I'm gonna first put this in here like this. Okay, so this arm from the setting part, it should go under the hop-up arm. I hope you can see it right now. And honestly, where I do it like this and I look into the barrel, I think like I have a ton of hop. So let's try to put it in, and maybe it will be finally too much like I feel, and I will have to modify it later on. So I threw in the gas tube and actually it came out from this side. I need a flat screwdriver and screw it from the front, but it's so difficult and the visibility is so limited, I will not do it on camera. So somehow I managed to do it, but maybe you can see that this part actually moves. So let's see, if I assemble the gas block maybe it will be better, but if not I will need to shim the gas tube because maybe it's just a bit too long. I cannot do the thread more, and this is still wobbling, so let's try. Or maybe actually, because then there will be the screw coming from the front, maybe. So let's see. The gas block simply goes on the barrel and I need to catch the gas tube with it, which will be probably a little more difficult. So I have the gas block in place and this part is still moving, like probably like 1 millimeter, honestly. And definitely it should not be like this. So I think before I'm gonna assemble the gas block, let's take it out. So before I'm gonna assemble the gas block, I will remove the gas tube, shim it from the front somehow to cancel this type of movement, and then I'm gonna assemble it back again. So this is what I did. There is the aluminum plate with a hole for that screwed or threaded actually gas pipe, and I'm gonna put it in. I glued it so that it doesn't fall out. It's tiny bit easier for me to assemble everything. So the gas pipe goes in again and it nicely should fall into place, and it's there. I can see that it's on that side. Then I put this part in, Hopefully this distance will be enough. I did 1 millimeter, let's see. But again, hard to do it under camera. Let's try it. If I put the screwdriver in here, I actually see the gas tube. Okay, it turns. It turns. And so on and so on. It's falling out like crazy. I'll do it off screen. Okay, so it somehow worked. Now this part is not moving at all, and it's even a bit better because when it's a little more to the rear, it pushes less on the hop-up arm for the chamber. So this way I get a bit more of regulation for the minimum amount. So maybe it will not be like too much hop in the first rotation. And now let's put in the gas block. It will be maybe a little more tricky to catch the gas tube right now because it's so long and stiff. When you screw it, it kind of moves, yeah, and sometimes it's pushed against the rail, sometimes it's like at an angle somewhere, so I need to catch it, basically try to have it in proper place. And I tried, and somehow actually it succeeded. It again was not that difficult. Gas block is there in position, so I have the pin and I have 2 screws. I'll start maybe with the screws so that the gas block doesn't move, and then I'm gonna try to assemble that pin somehow. Let's see which hex key fits. Alright, this one seems fine. Let's try to drop it in. Obviously these kind of upper receivers that are one part with the rail and so on, this is pain in the ass. In the URXs it's much easier because you can actually remove the bottom part and you have nice access here. As you see, I'm struggling to put the screws through all the little holes around, make some weird magic, but I will say, like, you know, this is the original design of the gun, yeah, so not to the manufacturer of this conversion, no worries, yeah, it's actually perfectly realistic. But what I want to say that surprisingly it's not so bad, yeah, so I'm actually having fun. And I thought that when I saw it, how it's done, and you know, I was planning for this build, I thought like I'm in, you know, deep shit, but actually it works kind of well. So one thing I noticed, because this gas tube, as I said, it's moving everywhere, when you screw it, it stops in some random positions. It's good to push the gas block into the position it should be. I'm blocking this with a screwdriver here, because right now the gas tube is pushing it away from the middle, let's say, so it's not in the neutral position. And when I have it like this, I can tighten these screws, and again, these are like solid screws, yeah, you can feel the power when you are trying to work with them, yeah. So let's tighten them. Where's the second one? Okay. Let's take out the screwdriver, let's inspect. Yeah, well, satisfactory. And I'm left with these parts now. So for the pin goes in here, but honestly I don't know if it serves any purpose other than disturbing the assembly of the gas tube, because you can imagine right now if I would like to remove the gas tube, I still can do it. It's accessible from the front. If I put in the pin, it will obscure the path for the screwdriver. However, I don't really see a reason why I should remove just the gas tube and not the whole chamber. Actually, probably I would remove all components from the inside if I want to replace the hop-up knob or something. So yeah, I guess I'll put it in. Let's figure out how. Because you can imagine that in cold Canada or wherever these guns are built, some UKSF armory, there is a guy who has proper tools and he's, let's say, trained and he knows perfectly what he's doing, not like me. So I need to really figure this out for myself, what's the best way how to approach it. Let's try to put in this pin somehow like this. Shit, it's like I can barely see anything in there. Okay, it went nicely. Okay, let's push it all the way in, and it sits, yeah? So again, seems like a assembly disaster, but works pretty well. So I'm happy with it. Okay, now this screw, I don't know, probably not the same hex key. Oh, the same. So this screw goes from the front into the gas block. Normally, when you want to clean the gas tube, you remove this screw in the real gun, yeah, and you can access the straight pipe on the top. Because obviously you can imagine that a soldier fights with some one-piece rail and barrel assembly like this in mud and so on, and probably he would go nuts. Okay, let's screw it nicely, and what I'm left with. Okay, so let's first try on the flash hider. Let's see how well it fits, in the sense if it gets proper orientation when I assemble it completely. No, it doesn't. It's actually quite bad, because if you look from the top, I need more rotation to have it in correct position, which means that I need to move it back the whole rotation almost to have it like this, yeah, and you see how big gap I get in here, yeah, so I will need a lot of these shims. I still see a gap though, so maybe if I use a proper wrench I can still turn it and not use any shim. Let's see what fits here. Okay, so let's see. Nice. You see that now actually it's like perfectly aligned, and I did it with this regular M4 wrench. Nice sound. And I used no shim at all. So perfect manufacturing. So this upper receiver is practically assembled apart from this dust cover. As I explained, I will put it in later. And I also noticed I have some additional parts in one of the bag. And I have some 3 pins here, not sure what they are, probably to attach the dust cover pin, so I will put them aside. I have this screw, and again I don't really know what it is, but I would guess that this is for pistol grip attachment. I will also put it aside, because maybe actually it's for the grenade launcher attachment here, like a dummy screw, maybe. Let's put it here. If I will be missing screws later on, I will find out what to do, because this is like a hard stop feature for a grenade launcher, yeah? So maybe that's exactly where the screw goes, who knows? Probably I'm just stupid and the assembly manual is available online. I just don't know about this and I'm doing some weird magic here. But the screw kind of fits, so who knows, maybe it's supposed to be like this. Okay, and I have this nice steel plate, and I figure out that this plate goes here. So we are missing the charging handle, how to call it, charging handle opening or whatever. It's reinforced with steel insert, nice, so that the charging handle will not damage the aluminum, yeah? And oh well, this was kind of easy, yeah, I can press it in with my finger. So definitely it requires some adhesive, and probably the best adhesive would be some kind of thread locking stuff. So I put some medium power thread locking Loctite in here. I guess it will be okay. Let's smear it, especially there in the along the walls, let's say. I don't know if this is not too much, maybe. Okay, and now the plate goes in like this, and my thread locker leaks out. Let's wipe it off. Okay, and from the middle, let's also wipe it off, but with this ear cleaning item, whatever you call it in English. Okay, let's clean it. Probably it has to stay like this for a moment before it sets, so I won't be let's say, playing too much with it, but I will take the charging handle because now it can fit here. So just for nice looks, I will also confirm that everything works well here, and apparently not. Okay, so I had a look, and actually it's completely not the way I thought it is. So what doesn't fit is that pin for the charging handle, which sits too high and it collides with the receiver. So again, a little sloppy job on HAO's side, but nothing we cannot fix. Just let's press it in a tiny bit more. There is plenty of space on this side. And I pushed the pin completely in. So there is still space on this side. It should not create any issue. Let's try to assemble it now. Now it fit perfectly. Okay, so the issue was not really here, it was on that pin, but whatever, we solved it. And this way, the upper receiver, apart from the dust cover, is practically ready. So let's put it here. And the next thing will be the bolt carrier group. I have these 2 bags of parts, and honestly I have no idea if these are all the parts, so maybe it will end up in a way that I don't have a possibility to assemble it. And I hope that a Rytec nozzle will actually fit to Angry Gun steel bolt carrier, but let's find out. So I believe the first step is to open it up. Nice steel heavy bolt carrier, 2 screws on top. Let's open the Rytec. So 3 plastic parts, the top part, top guide, the locking for the rear, and the complete nozzle assembly with the NPAS. And I wonder how this NPAS works, because there is no way how to set it, but this is that magnetic one or whatever. I guess you do it with this screw on the side here. I need to find out. I never really used it, so not sure. Okay, so let's start by removing these top screws. And somebody tightened them pretty nicely, so there is the first screw and there is the second screw. Okay, and I did not relube the parts for the upper receiver because all of them are easily accessible when you take out the charging handle and so on. But here I want to assemble it in one go and hopefully it will be ready. So I'm gonna apply the lube and so on in the assembly process. Okay, so here I use my favorite Teflon lube, or maybe grease. Okay, and I'll put it like this. And because this is brand new and completely dry, I will put some also in here. Probably it's too much. I will use my finger to distribute it a bit better. So probably it's a little too much, but on the first few shots, when I will be testing the gun, the excess will be blown out probably, so I don't expect any problems. And I understand that I should just push it in. And again, some grease stayed here. Let's get rid of it as much as possible. Alright, it goes in nicely. Like, I like this section, yeah? So it seems like these parts will be fully compatible. Okay, clean it up tiny bit here, tiny bit here. And now I need to put in this plastic part, if I am correct. And here there is a hole that I can push this with, like this. Oh, it escaped. Let's make another try. Does it fit? Yeah, well, it fits. Like, there is the seal on the rear, and honestly, it doesn't seem to me like the seal was much compressed. Let's see if it will be working. If not, then maybe I will need to correct it. And then this part, let's figure out how I assemble it. what do I do? Like push it over? Oh, yeah. It worked. However, this is definitely too tight because it doesn't want to go back with the nozzle. Let's have a look. So I guess where it's so tight is here on the top. That's strange. Okay, let's remove it and let's think for a second. What's wrong with these two parts? If I put it on here, or maybe this way, it really doesn't feel like a perfect fit. And for this reason, because I know these parts were out pretty quickly, I also bought an alternative from Angry Gun, and it has this beautiful sticker. Let's see if the Angry Gun fits better. Maybe it will solve the issue and I can figure out how to use this part later on if I need it. Also, maybe this rear part I should replace. Maybe this will give me a better seal compression. So let's see if I pull it back, if I push in the part here. Doesn't seem like a better fit, but whatever, let's see. And if I put this part in here, is it any better? Well, actually it is. I'm just gonna compare the Raytech again for this rear, if it's better. Because maybe the seal compression could be better with the Raytech. Yes, like the Raytech is much thicker, yeah. So on the rear I'll stay with the Raytech, it seems like a better choice. To compress the seal. But on the top I'm gonna stay with the Angry Gun because the nozzle cycles, unlike the Raytech part. Okay, and now I'm gonna just screw those two screws back on top. So these parts will go to some spare ones, and I have my complete bolt carrier group. Probably it will need to break in a bit. Let's see how it will work in practice. So this part I'm gonna relube also with the gun oil, and I don't want it to run dry even for some fitting or tests in the receiver. I know these parts are getting worn out, so I'm gonna oil this bit here and there like this, you know, and I'm gonna put it in and let's see how it looks like in the upper receiver. And if I'm doing this already, maybe, okay, let's put some oil on the charging handle already too. I'm putting a lot because this is the first time these parts actually see any oil, yeah? So I put it inside. Wash it. That's what you call a tight fit. I believe it will really take some time before the bolt carrier will, you know, break in with the receiver, because it really is tight. Normally when you put bolt carrier group into any gun, it's like 0.6 millimeters per side of clearance, so it's completely loose, yeah, like loose like crazy. And here that's really not the case. What I can say, apart from the fact that it's like crazy heavy, probably it's like 2 kilograms already, you can really feel that you have something in your hands. And I really like it because this really reminds me of some real firearm, not a toy. It looks pretty damn well. highly realistic. This is really surprisingly nice build quality and surprisingly well thought out. So I did it. So I have my complete upper receiver assembly with the bolt carrier group, charging handle, everything's here. You can see how front heavy this is. Actually, when I put it on the table, it rotates forward when it stands on this hardstop for the grenade launcher. It's pretty crazy how heavy this is. But again, this feels like the real deal. I don't know if you can get any more closer to the real gun than with this kind of conversion. Yeah, it's really crazy. So the next we will go to the lower receiver, and yeah, let's put this one aside. It is ready and waiting. And that's all for the first episode. Thank you for attention. If you liked the video, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, leave any comment, any suggestion, because the next part is coming and you don't want to miss it. So be sure that you get the proper notification when the time comes. For now, thank you so much and see you in the next episode.